September 30th, 2025. Scientists published something that should be impossible. They detected water pouring out of an object in the freezing void of space where water can't exist. Not a trickle, a fire hose. 40 kilograms every single second. This is 3I Atlas, the third visitor from another star. And it just broke physics. Let me be clear about what we're dealing with here. This isn't some clickbait mystery. This is a peer-reviewed discovery published in the astrophysical journal Letters by NASA scientists. Real data, real telescopes, real problem. Because here's the thing about water in space. It freezes, obviously. But frozen water doesn't just sit there quietly. When sunlight hits ice, it sublimates, goes straight from solid to gas. That's what makes comets have tails. That's basic physics. But here's the catch. That only happens when you're close enough to the sun. There's a line, a boundary, where the sun's heat is strong enough to make ice sublimate. We know exactly where that line is.
3I Atlas is way, way beyond that line. And it's spraying water anyway.
In July 2025, NASA's Neil Jarrell's Swift Observatory pointed its instruments at this mysterious visitor. They weren't even looking for water. They were just trying to figure out what this thing was made of. What they found stopped them cold. Hydroxyl gas. That's OH on the periodic table. It's what you get when water molecules break apart under ultraviolet light. It's the smoking gun that screams water was here. But 3I Atlas was 2.9 astronomical units from the sun. That's nearly 3 times farther than Earth. Out there, in the cold darkness between Mars and Jupiter, nothing should be melting. Nothing should be sublimating. The sun's energy at that distance is too weak. It's like trying to boil water with a candle from across the room. And yet, the data was undeniable. 40 kilograms of water vapor every second. For reference, that's like a fire hose at full blast, continuously, in conditions that should keep everything frozen solid. Lead scientist Zexi Zhang from Auburn University said this was the first time we've ever detected water activity from an interstellar object. First time. That alone is historic. But the real question everyone started asking was simpler. How?
Okay, let's talk about why this is so weird. When you look at comets in our solar system, they follow a pattern. A very predictable pattern. Far from the sun, frozen and quiet. No tail, no glow. Just a dark chunk of ice drifting through space. Get closer, things start to wake up. Water ice on the surface begins to sublimate. You get a fuzzy halo called a coma. Then a tail forms as gas and dust stream away from the sun's radiation pressure. This happens at a fairly consistent distance. Usually inside 3 AU. Some comets are more active than others, sure, but the physics is the physics. You need heat to turn ice into gas. Not enough heat, no activity. 3I Atlas laughs at this rule. It's releasing water at a distance where our solar system comets are still dormant, stone cold, not even a hint of activity. But this interstellar visitor, it's dumping water vapor like it's flying past the sun itself. Scientists are baffled because this isn't just a little bit of water. This is massive, sustained outgassing, the kind of activity you'd expect from a comet that's way, way closer to the sun. So what's going on? How is this possible?
Right now, scientists have a few ideas. None of them are perfect. All of them are kind of wild. Theory 1, the ice grain hypothesis. Maybe 3I Atlas isn't just releasing water from its surface. Maybe it's ejecting tiny particles, microscopic ice-coated dust grains that have enormous surface area compared to their volume. Think of it like this. A big ice cube melts slowly. But if you crush that ice cube into a powder, it melts way faster because every tiny grain is exposed to heat. So maybe the comet's nucleus is spitting out these ultra-fine ice grains, and even the faint sunlight at 2.9 AU is enough to vaporize them almost instantly. The water we're detecting isn't coming from the surface. It's coming from this cloud of ice dust. This has been seen before, but only in a handful of extremely distant solar system comets. And even then, it's rare. For 3I Atlas to be doing this suggests its internal structure is unusual. Theory 2. Subsurface reservoirs. Here's another possibility. What if the water isn't coming from surface ice at all? What if it's trapped beneath the surface, in pockets or layers of ice that are insulated from space? As the comet tumbles through space, internal heat, maybe from radioactive decay or tidal stresses, or just leftover heat from its formation billions of years ago, could be melting ice from within. That meltwater finds cracks, vents to the surface, and boom, instant water vapor, even far from the sun. This would explain the sustained output. It's not dependent on solar heating, it's coming from inside. And then there's the wild card theory. What if the water we're detecting isn't frozen water the way we think of it? What if 3I Atlas is made of exotic ices, clathrates, hydrates, or other molecular structures that sublimate at much lower temperatures than pure water ice? We know from the James Webb Space Telescope data that 3I Atlas is absolutely loaded with carbon dioxide, way more CO2 than a normal comet. In fact, it's the most CO2-rich comet we've ever studied. CO2 ice sublimates at much colder temperatures than water ice. If the water is somehow mixed in with CO2 or trapped in CO2 ice structures, that could explain the early activity. The CO2 drives the outgassing and drags water along for the ride. But here's the thing. None of these theories fully explain what we're seeing. The water output is too strong, too sustained, too far from the sun. There's something about 3I Atlas that we fundamentally don't understand yet.
Okay, let's address the elephant in the room. Is this an alien spaceship? On October 14, 2025, multiple scientists went on record to say, no, it's not. The evidence is clear. 3I Atlas has a natural coma. It has a tail. Its trajectory is purely gravitational. No thrust, no steering, just following the laws of orbital mechanics. Its chemistry matches comets, not spacecraft. It's a comet. A weird comet, but a comet. And honestly, that's way more interesting than aliens. Because if this is natural, then it means there are entire classes of objects out there in the galaxy that behave in ways we've never seen. It means our models of how comets work are incomplete. It means we're learning about the physics of other star systems in real time. The alien theory is fun. It's exciting. But the real mystery here isn't about little green men. It's about the universe itself. Why does 3I Atlas behave this way? What does its chemistry tell us about the star system it came from? How common are objects like this? Those are the questions that matter. And right now, we don't have answers.
Right now, as you're watching this, 3I Atlas is racing toward its closest approach to the sun, perihelion. That moment happens on October 29, 2025, just days from now. At perihelion, it'll be 1.36 astronomical units from the sun. Still pretty far, about the distance of Mars, but it's the closest it'll ever get. And when it does, things are going to get interesting. Solar heating will peak. If there's any hidden activity, any buried volatiles, any surprises in its composition, we'll see them then. The comet could brighten dramatically, It could fragment. It could do something we don't expect. But here's the frustrating part. We won't be able to watch. On October 21st, 3I Atlas will pass into solar conjunction. That means, from Earth's perspective, it'll be directly behind the sun. The sun's glare will completely blind our telescopes. We'll lose sight of it right at the most critical moment. It's like watching a mystery thriller and having someone turn off the TV right before the big reveal. We won't see it again until early November, when it emerges on the other side of the sun. By then, perihelion will have already happened. Whatever changes occur, we'll only see the aftermath. But there is hope. ESA's JUICE spacecraft, currently in deep space, might be positioned to catch a glimpse. And the James Webb Space Telescope, Hubble, and ground-based observatories are all standing by to capture data the moment it's visible again. The data we collect in November could answer everything, or it could deepen the mystery even further.
So here's where we are, an ancient visitor from another star, releasing water in conditions that shouldn't allow it, defying our models, challenging our understanding of cometary physics. This isn't science fiction. This is happening right now, above our heads, in the cold darkness between worlds. And the most mind-blowing part? This is only the third interstellar object we've ever detected. 3 out of potentially billions drifting through the galaxy. Every single one we find teaches us something new. Every single one is a gift. 3I Atlas is showing us that the universe is stranger, weirder, and more wonderful than we ever imagined. It's showing us that our solar system isn't special, that the same forces that shaped our world have shaped countless others, that we're part of something vast and ancient and beautiful. The impossible water mystery isn't just about water. It's about connection, about reaching across the void and touching something that came from unimaginable distance in time. In 13 billion years, this object traveled across the galaxy just to pass by us, just to let us see it, just to make us question everything we thought we knew.
Keep watching the sky. November 7th, when 3I Atlas reemerges, could change everything. Subscribe so you don't miss the follow-up when we finally see what happened at perihelion. The universe is full of mysteries. This is just the beginning.